Hey YouTube, how's it going? So I wanted to come back for a moment, just a brief moment, and talk about dark skin and how historically, well, where I'm coming from is, recently with that whole Dove commercial thing or whatever, and them kind of implying that uh, dark skinned is like dirty, right? So I kind of want to come on here and kind of, sound off a little bit on just the idea. Not so much the Dove commercial itself. I feel like there's a lot of people who have spoken about that and they've done like a really good job. And I don't know what else more I can really add on that end of it. But as far as like dark skin in general, let's talk about that for a brief second. All right. you know, when people generally think of dark skin, do you think that they think of dirty? Just people in general, like people across the board, like of all, um, races, ethnicities, walks of life, etc. When they think of dark skin, do you think they think of something like positive or something negative? Clean versus dirty, etc. Like, how do you think people view dark skin? All right. Hmm. My personal opinion, I'm not entirely sure. I feel like it just because of like white supremacy and whatnot. I feel like there is some negativity attached to dark skin, right? Um, or some people may have like a negative opinion, right? You know, I can't speak on other people's opinion, but I can speak on my opinion, though, right? I know what I think, right? So I can speak on that, right? And I can say when I think of dark skinned, especially like black people with dark skin, I don't like dirty is not something that pops into my mind, right? Really, like I don't make that connection, and I don't think that thankfully I don't think majority of black people do make that connection. Um, Thankfully, um, I think some black people may have like a negative, perhaps some type of like an anti-black sentiment attached to it, but not necessarily like dirty, right? So yeah, like kind of like when I think of like you know dark skin, I kind of actually think more so like, especially if the skin is like really well moisturized. They use some cocoa butter or some like baby oil, some lotion and potions and whatnot, right? Then I really think like, wow, like it really looks nice. It really looks regal and very captivating. Even mesmerizing, honestly. And I'm not just saying those things to be, nice and politically correct and all that good stuff. Like, I really do think that when I see, like, really nice dark skin on people, right? Now, like, if the skin was ashy, then that'd be kind of like a different thing. But, if it ain't ashy, then yeah, it's pretty, like, captivating and mesmerizing to me. As well as regal, even regal too. And as well, even like sweating, honestly, like a nice, gloss of sweat makes the skin look good. Like, look good, even sweaty, right? And that, sweaty is technically dirty, right? And it still looks good. And it kind of like enhances it a little bit, right? And as well, having a really healthy, robust look as well. As well, it even if you're not the most healthiest person, or perhaps have like bruises or blemishes, it kind of does help conceal those bruises and blemishes and gives a healthy and robust appearance, even though the person themselves may not have a healthy our robust um, health diagnosis, right? And as well, dark skin really protects against the sun, right? And the sun is like the main culprit when it comes to like aging, right? That's where you get like the saying "black don't crack," right? Because a lot of times when you see black people and they're older, sometimes it doesn't look like they're that old. They can pass for being like perhaps a decade or two younger than they actually are because you know that skin, right? The dark skin really gives like a protection against the sun or the harmful rays of the sun, right? And as well, another thing, like, having skin that may be irritated, right? And turns red. Like, I think all people have that redness to their skin, but the thing is, when it's like dark skin, the dark skin covers up the redness, right? I think you have to like really look and concentrate to see the redness when it comes to like darker skinned people because it's there, but you just can't see it because it's like the dark skin is like a curtain over the redness, right? So I think that is pretty cool because for me personally, I do um you know well, maybe I shouldn't go into that. And as far as like us in the black community is concerned, I think that all our uh, variations of skin tones are beautiful, of course. I think we all think that more or less, but of course, we have our favorites, right? And I don't think it's anything inherently wrong with having like a favorite or a preference as long as you're not bashing the other ones, or even just like, well, I'll say preference, right? As long as you're not being negative or bashing the other skin tones, in my personal opinion. You know, Unfortunately, we don't have the privilege or the luxury of, getting our props from the media, like say white people have. So I think it's important for us to sort of acknowledge and give props to ourselves within the community. And sometimes we may not do so because we may feel like, well, it's so obvious. Like, why state the obvious, right? Like, it's your skin tone is amazing and beautiful. So it's like saying the sky is blue. It's like, well, duh, But sometimes it's good to always, good to hear from time to time positive things, especially if the media is pumping out like negative things, right? Well, let me bring this video to a close. I don't want to go on for too long. But I actually have made a video more or less about this topic that goes on for a lot longer, about probably like between 30 and 40 minutes, where I sort of like more or less list off like 10 things I love / like about dark skinned black people. So if you're interested in looking and hearing more about my opinion, as far as like darker skin tones are concerned, I'll leave a link in the description of this video. But for now, I'll bring this video to a close. So thank you very much for watching, and adios and goodbye for now. And also leave your comments. Thanks a lot.